Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I swear, I was thinking about you a couple days ago. You look so much different. How are you? Yeah, no, Josiah, sorry. Yeah, no, it's been a while. Yeah, Josiah from Lime Podcast. Yeah, this is Raj.
Hey there.
And wow, yeah. Yeah, no, this is Lime Podcast number 14. No, yeah, it's a really special one. No, yeah, for sure. I can't announce it though. We have an announcer though. Bring him out.
And now, introducing your spectacular guest, the best DAS player as voted by Peace Dependency Podcast on Twitter. The one, the only, Reid.
How's it going? Ron, first name basis here. You guys call me Carter.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Let's go. This is the first time you've given me permission to call you that. Yeah. Wow.
No way.
Yeah. So
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is a nice studio. It's no talk to but it's humble.
Okay, man.
Listen, Haley Welch contacted us to get advice on how to set up her studio, so that you would insult our studio.
We came up with the idea for Talk Tua.
Actually. Yeah.
We said, Haley, imagine Hawk Tua, 60 minutes.
Wow.
But actually, I declined to go on their show. If we're talking about rejecting Haley Welch to be here.
Wow. Thank you. But yeah, Carter, you're in my eyes, you're probably the best Tetris player on planet Earth. And I've spoke to a couple people. Look, I've spoke to some big higher up, some people up there, and they've told me the same thing.
The best DAS player.
As voted by
The Peace Dependency Podcast.
Yes, the Peace Dependency
fan
Podcast
poll on Twitter.
On Twitter.
That wasn't a fan poll. That was
a government poll.
Yeah, that was just people seeing, and they just acted accordingly.
Yeah, that was on my ballot actually. So how's your Tetris winning domination been going?
Not good, because I don't play that much anymore. I think I've done only like 4 events this year. Because I'm now I'm moving towards like back end stuff and like helping set up events.
Nice.
I don't got the time to play.
Watching movies.
We have been. I watched there's 2 animated movies out right now that I thought were both about equally as good. Transformers 1 and The Wild Robot. I thought they were both great.
Yeah, you really liked Wild Robot.
Yeah.
I really did. Thank God it was a good movie to watch.
Yeah.
I'd say those are both great. I like them both a lot. I saw Transformers 1 a couple times.
We watched the best double feature you could think of. We watched The Wild Robot followed by the Terrifier.
Terrifier 3.
And it was fun to watch it in a crowd.
Fun.
To be
It was
honest.
a packed theater. It was fun. I think any horror film's fun in a crowd, especially one that's a bit like it's more like people really want to be here. I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Carter said he didn't want to talk about Terrifier 3, but we're making sure.
I made sure my management team put this as one of my stipulations.
Do not. How could we not? I've seen you post on Letterboxd of Terrifier. I've seen you tweet about it. I know damn well where you were yesterday.
You've watched all 3 of them too.
I haven't seen Terrifier 1.
Yeah.
You beat me out.
I wanted to, get the whole full story understood.
Yeah, but Terrifier 1 is so...
There's actually no story in Terrifier 1.
I knew the backstory behind the director. He made short films and then he got funding for...
I think it was a $40K budget. It was super small.
No, it was right before that. There was one called Hallows Eve or something like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was a bunch of short films. He had art in it, and people were like, "That's a cool one." And then there's a producer that came to him and was like, "Oh, I'll give you money if you want to make more short films." And he was like, "Just give me money and I'll combine my short films into a film." And then that was relatively successful for a indie horror. And then he did Terrifier.
I've watched 1 Terrifier movie, which is 3. Josiah, I've watched 2. Carter, you've watched all 3, which technically makes you the most knowledgeable Terrifier fan in this room. That's a true claim, actually.
No, that means I'm the biggest hater.
Man.
Yeah.
I will say, I think it's of course anyone can feel however they want about Terrifier however they want, but I'm not a massive fan. I'm not I love these films. I don't watch a lot of even gore porn type horror films necessarily, but even if it's like some of the films that like of the two I've seen, I'm not like these are my favorite of the year. I still think the fact that they're so low budgeted and they are like so intense in like being like indie horror gore porn, it is cool to see them do so well. Because I'm like the fact that I can even do financially well at all is like impressive. Like that's a cool thing to me. Because there's so many like this could just be like a slasher. This could just be like it's a slasher, but
Yeah.
like this could just be a crazy ass blockbuster that's really boring, or it could be a $20 million like The Strangers that came out this year.
I never watched it, but I heard it was not great.
So uninspired, and it's like a massive budget compared to Terrifier. And I'm like, at least Terrifier, I was like, whoa, he really fucking are those brains?
Yeah.
That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa, he killed them and he's a clown.
He's a clown.
That is crazy, dude.
He's not gonna kill this guy. But like the effects are crazy though. I thought that was like impressive. Like every time I'm always like, "Fuck, dude! Like that looks like a person. How'd you do that? Was it a person?"
Yeah, I thought the effects are good. For my first Terrifier film, I can't say that I loved it, or even really liked it. But I get why people like them, and I can see if you like them why you would like Terrifier 3. I think it itches that if people have that part of their brain that they need to be scratched. I guess so.
Car's losing his mind.
People like getting their balls crushed. All right, like people can like anything. That doesn't make it right, you know. Like, and I hate how Terrifier fans deflect. Like, it's just Terrifier. Like that. What do you expect? It's Terrifier. I'm like, these kills would be so much better if they had meaning behind it.
Dude, I don't want to say this to you, Carter, because I feel like you'll see me different. But I am watching Terrifier 3 again tomorrow.
Why?
I was watching.
Please tell me it's for a date.
No, friend date. Yeah.
Friend date.
It's a double feature with Joker too.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better.
Actually, I think it makes it significantly worse. I have not seen Joker 2 yet, but
I saw Joker 2.
Have you seen Joker 2?
I didn't even like Joker 1, so
I did not like Joker 1.
If you
either
don't
that
like
much.
Joker 1, you will 100% not like Joker 2.
I also have heard if you did like Joker 1, you will hate Joker 2. So I don't know.
There's a weird middle ground on who enjoys Joker 2.
Yeah. Who exactly is this movie for?
Contrarians.
Perhaps.
So
Yeah.
I think some people who maybe really love
Joaquin
Joaquin Phoenix musical theater. No, and I don't know. I think some people it just hits them randomly, and you're like, okay, man,
I get
you
it.
enjoy that.
I mean, we're all Megalopolis enjoyers in here, so there's something for
I was like,
everyone.
that's just going from like Terrifier 3, Joker, Megalopolis, everyone.
Yeah.
What high horse are we on?
Yeah.
We're on the Coppola high horse, dude.
We are.
I think that is how you can tell, to a certain extent, how good a film is or how it stands with you, right? Just like how long it sits with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't tell you most things about Joker 2 at this point. And if you liked it, man, no shade.
Yeah,
But
no shade.
Megalopolis, for better or for worse, I remember that film like I seen it twice, and I was like, fucking, it's ingrained. The scene where he goes to the party and he's like losing his shit, and it's like and it goes in reverse, and he's drinking and he's smashing the bottle and stuff.
Yeah.
That has been stuck in my brain. It's so good.
That's exactly what it's like for me to go to like Tetris tournaments.
How you feel? Can we
why-
go, please?
Dude, please, that makes it sound amazing.
That's why I show up to the venue after 2 hours of sleep, looking awful.
That fucking what does she say? Like for a few hours he forgets who he is. A moment of like peace, perhaps. Something like that. Talking about you.
Wow.
For what stood out to you from that movie since that you've been like thinking of?
Oh, honestly, the concept of the utopian society, he could have defined what a utopian is to him better, but I really like how it shows that even the most well-meaning elites in power will still trample over the average person to realize their goals, even if it's for the greater good.
Mm.
Because he creates his megalopolis off the backs of like displacing people from their homes.
Yeah.
And so he apparently does create that like utopian society, but a lot of people are like hurt because of it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It kind of shows me that like a lot of the people that empower that people look up to, they might have good intentions, but they'll never actually have your best interest in mind. Either it be through ignorance or just like wanting to keep power consolidated with them.
Yeah.
I had a similar thing I really liked about that. Just kind of the disconnect between Caesar Catalina and just kind of like, and I guess all leaders, like you said, and just the rest of the general population. I like how it's kind of demonstrated in height a lot of the times, where like Caesar's always like in the skylines at the top of buildings, so like detached and disconnected. And I think it like kind of shows that like where I took it as kind of like a disconnect of like kind of like late stage capitalism of it's just so just top layer, bottom layer heavy.
Yeah.
And then I also, the quote, there was a quote I really loved. I don't know the exact quote, but the sentiment of it was that, an empire falls when people stop believing in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, dude, that's me.
Living in it?
Yeah, that's me right now.
That's kind of
there's
us.
a lot of,
Yeah.
cool ideas throughout it where I'm like, have you heard the how like randomly in that film they show it's like a montage of historical footage and they show 9/11 footage?
Yeah.
Did you hear that they shot that? The team that worked on this, like Francis shot that.
Oh, so he was the one that shot that 9/11 footage?
Like, I don't know if like he directly shot that, but he's been working on this film for like decades. Like,
Yeah, it was originally
slowly-
gonna have Gandolfini in it.
Yeah, it was like crazy cast. Like I think De Niro was a part of it at some point, but yeah, like they were working on it when that happened, so they have footage that they personally shot, which is like insane to be like. I saw that, I was like, I wonder where they got that from. No, that's just their footage.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That is insane. Are you a big Babylon head by any chance or no?
Dude,
Right.
I actually haven't seen Babylon.
You would love Babylon because you
Yeah,
love Damien Chazelle.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, you would love Babylon. I love Babylon.
Yeah, we're two Babylon heads in here.
We're just babbling about Babylon.
Yeah, I actually really just been wanting to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Listen, when you watch Babylon, we're gonna be sitting right next to you.
Yeah, you come back to us.
Yeah, you come.
Dude,
back
yeah,
to
I'm
us.
down. I'm
All
down
right.
with Babylon with you
Hell
guys.
yeah.
Let's go. I've been meaning to rewatch it actually.
Me too.
All right.
I watch it every few months probably. I throw it on and be
What?
like, fuck.
You say you watch it every Saturday.
I watch it every Tuesday and Saturday.
Oh my god, twice? And I got something different each time. Dude, you spilled Red Bull all over your...
Oh, man.
Oh, dude. Did you pour that right into the mic
Oh
hole?
fuck! I just spilled Red Bull over my fucking pants.
Here, well, let's clean this up real quick. Get them up.
Oh.
All right, guys. So our room is flooded with Red Bull, so please excuse if it sounds a little... Oh,
I'm drinking it all over the floor.
you got the big straw.
Oh, my stomach hurts, man. I can't keep drinking all this.
At Genesis this year, they handed out like free Red Bulls for like people that were like able to go back into the VIP area.
Really?
So I was just destroying Red Bulls the entire time.
Nice, dude. we recently had a...
How many?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
My
Oh, you're
heart
good.
was like actually hurting by the end.
Oh, were there regular Red Bulls?
Yeah. But I mean, I was working the event and playing in it, so like it was long days.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Longer nights.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, longer nights, dude.
Man,
Hey,
tell me about it.
A lot of people from Tetris want me to shout them out, and I won't because they clout chased. But I'll shout out my friend Arctic because he didn't ask to be shouted out.
That's real.
That's beautiful.
And you know what? He'll get a shout out from us too. Arctic, you're a real one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and
he-
also,
He parties hard.
to all those who wanted a shout out,
Yeah.
let's just say, hey, we love you.
We love you.
Your guys' output has been really good lately.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thanks, man.
I was there for that dry spell,
You were there, man.
Yeah.
for the drought.
You were there for the whole year of nothing. There was at least a whole chunk that was 12 months of nothing.
You know, it was like 18 months. We had a gap that was like a year and a half, and then a podcast, and then another year, and then a podcast. But hey, man, sometimes that's just how it goes.
But yeah, your guys' output's been really good, and
Oh,
all
thank you.
the stuff like looks amazing too. So it's not like it's been churned out. It looks genuinely good.
Thank
Oh,
you, man.
thank you, man.
Thanks,
We
man.
appreciate
Wow,
that.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
we'd
and
love to have you on like every episode.
Yeah, this is how I'm getting back on.
This
And
feels,
you're,
Bring you up.
this feels great.
You're really good at Tetris, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I
watched the. No, that was cool. We went to a friend's birthday, and I parked outside. I arrived like an hour after it started, maybe. And you were also parked outside. I didn't realize you were in your car, and I'm like walking out, and you're like, I'm watching a live stream. This guy's gonna beat at Tetris.
Oh yeah, it was the first. It's what they call rebirth. So he played so long that the game just looped back to level 0.
That's
it just,
crazy.
It like
That's
went crazy and
awesome.
just looped back to 0.
I saw it happen, and I don't watch Tetris streamers. I just happened to see Carter watching it. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll stay for this. All right.
Yeah. Shout out to Dog, first ever to do that.
That's
He
insane.
gets a shout out.
I've anytime you've been like playing and it's on a stream, if I can catch it, sometimes I'll go and I'll try to get the announcer to whoever's commentating to say something that I put in chat, and it's happened like 3 times, and I've recorded all of them.
That's funny.
You have to send those to me.
Yeah, I have one that where I think what I wrote exactly was, this guy Reid got that dog in him, and then the guy read it out.
I remember that because I had to hear commentary for score updates, so I read he's like, the Gray Raj says Reid got that dog in him.
Yeah,
I remember watching one. It's probably like 2 years ago at this point. Man, time flies. Am I right? It was probably 2 years ago, and you were like, it was on a live stream, and you like linked it to us, and you're like, oh, everyone hop in and like be like keep being like, yeah, I'm Reid's #1 fan. Like keep talking about you like you were like massive. And for some reason that pissed off the announcer. Like we kept saying, because we were like, it was like 8 of us, and we're like, oh, no one's like Reid and hella shit, and he would like make little jabs at only you.
I need to find, dude. Please tell me you guys have this record. I'm trying to think of this.
Because I remember, like, you'd be like, oh, Reid's he's in trouble here. I don't know how he's going to get it. Oh, okay, yeah, no, he did get out of that. Like, he was hoping that you would fail the entire time.
I know exactly what it is. I have to tell you about that off the record.
I stole so much money from him.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man,
that's
the
funny.
last one, they're like, what's this oh my fucking god, Reid, I'm so drunk thing about?
Reid.
I'm so drunk right now.
Wake up, I'm so drunk. That's funny.
Yeah, I might not even be the best, but you know, most devout fan base.
You do.
100%. Is Tetris like competitively? Is it largest in the U.S. or because I know it's like a Russian game originally, and I don't know if they still play it all over there, or is it like
I would say North America is probably at its best. We have most of the tournament organizers. That helps too. So a lot of the events that go on in person help really bolster the scene.
Yeah.
A lot of the best players have all been from the U.S. as well. So I mean, there's good scenes in Europe, like just throughout Europe. But I would say North America is like probably where it's at.
Oh, okay, for sure. Oh, or you can cut it. You can cut all that.
I'm keeping that.
You're
in.
just laughing in my face. We're not making money.
Yeah, I'm keeping
Sorry, I was
that in.
testing my mic, man. I was making sure, and if it sounds bad right now or it sounds lower, you guys know I was testing it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Hey, you know what? Bacon Hour would never have done that to me.
You're so right. You're so right.
Listen, Bacon Hour, they might have the mics, right? They might have the swag and the sauce.
They don't have the heart.
They don't have.
They have the heart. They have a lot of heart.
Yeah, shit. Okay, what don't they have? They don't have. They don't have the little Jalen in their room.
No, for sure not.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Hey, good seeing you, little guy.
Hello, Carter.
You didn't say hi to him.
Would you guys be mad if I like squished him right now?
No. Oh my
Do
god.
not,
Okay.
hey.
Whoa. Hey.
Come on.
Wait, I'm moving him. Okay. Hey. So you stay away from
This
him.
is still
man.
our buddy. This is our buddy Jalen.
Yeah, but think about how funny it'd be.
You're right, but we can't let our impulses control us. I've thought about it too. God damn it! I've thought about it.
That's what separates man from beast.
Exactly.
If you were given a tiny human,
Yeah.
would you squish him? Would you?
I wouldn't.
Depends on what the human is.
Yeah. Who is it?
You don't know. Like you get given them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And you're like, "Oh, who are you?" Right? And you're like, "Dave."
Dave Seville
Dave Seville, it's me.
from Alvin. From Alvin Chipmunks.
Squish him.
I wouldn't. I think. Although it could
If you
turn
got
into
given a small person, would you like, okay, if you were outside and a small person showed up to your door, right, and they're just like, "Hey, man," and you have to get closer, and then they're just being like, "Hey, I know I'm tiny. I'm only like 2 inches tall. Can I just chill at your place?" Right?
Yeah.
Would you let them?
I
They're
would.
this big.
I would, but I would make sure to keep my eye on them because I don't want it to turn into a Tom and Jerry situation where they're just kind of fucking with my stuff and I have to chase them around the house. That is like, I cannot deal with that.
Yeah.
So I'd let them chill. I'd establish some boundaries like we have done with Jalen. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. You know, especially if they take up such little space.
If they're like the figurines from Night at the Museum, then hell yeah, dude.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Well, they're not terrible. They're just they're like a bad roommate.
Ooh.
Like they chill on the countertop over there, but they just leave crumbs. They have like tiny trash bags.
It takes a lot See, okay, because of the scale of it, it's so small that it would be less of an annoyance. I feel like you have to be really annoying to be annoying
If
as
anything,
a
they
tiny,
would
tiny
only
person.
eat crumbs because that's all they could. Stomach.
Exactly, yeah.
I
So
manufacture small.
They like eat the crumbs that you leave behind.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what I keep telling them, and I'm like, how are there crumbs? You're supposed to be eating these.
Them? You have multiple in here? Dude, tell me right now, be honest, did you shrink multiple people?
What? No, dude,
Are you-
fuck. You're joking in front of Car. He's just joking.
No, I get it because I have like a telltale heart in like my foyer that like just beats.
Oh, you do?
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Yes, I did.
I noticed 3 thimbles over there full of water. What the
40.
fuck?
I shrunk 40 people.
And they're all in here?
Yeah. Yes.
Honey, I shrunk 40 people.
Honey,
No relation to you.
honey, I shrunk a small community.
I
Honey, I shrunk a polycule, or how do you pronounce that?
A
polycule?
polycule? Yeah.
I shrunk a polycule.
Yeah.
Hey,
Eh.
I had to.
You guys can do what you do, just at a smaller scale.
Yeah, smaller scale. Yeah. You guys, what are you guys doing here?
At least you shrunk them all. Yeah.
Leave one big. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
being left out of the polycule because you didn't get shrunk is so
Dude.
fucked up.
Ruining a thruple.
Just
Yeah.
random. Just random. Yeah, I shrunk polycule. I shrunk the mailman. Shrunk
The mayor.
the mayor. Got
They-
hella people.
They need some order.
It's a little town set up and
Yeah,
stuff.
he could still designate his jobs. He's the mayor. He doesn't need to be
He keeps
doing
trying to outlaw polycules, and I keep telling him, "Hey, don't do that."
Don't. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, I made him tidy. I said, "You guys could enjoy it."
What if he only tries to outlaw little polycules, though?
I'm like, "You're tiny too, man. You have no jurisdiction over me."
You'd squish them. I see the look in your eyes. You'd squish them, wouldn't you?
So you would squish a political figure. Is that what we're getting at?
Well, if he's trying to outlaw polycules, well,
A polyphobic tiny
I fight for
mayor.
you.
Hey, man.
We don't stand by polyphobia here.
We don't.
We're pro
No, we
poly.
don't.
Yeah.
Us three here are pro poly.
Yeah. Just for the record, I know that's been looming over us.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
everyone wondering, I know you guys. I could read it. I could read what you guys been thinking.
Yeah. We
This is
saw the
insane.
comments.
This is why I ruin all my monogamous relationships, just in solidarity.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. You know what's not funny?
Well,
It's so not funny that I'm gonna say it again. You want to know something that's not funny? This fucking Megalopolis potion that you brought, Carter. This, oh, hey, it's okay. This elixir, what is it gonna do to us? What is this? It's like a weird lime green / bluish Baja Blast color liquid.
it's thicker than milk.
It's really thick. It's like almost like heavy cream.
Well, you know, only the best for you guys.
I guess. Let's go out guns blazing.
All right, what do you guys think about that one?
That was delicious.
Yeah,
Wow,
so,
yeah.
I guess for those at home that can't see it, what this actually is a really nice imported Japanese whiskey. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
called the Kaigan. It's a limited release.
Nice.
Thank you for bringing that.
Thank
though.
you,
Yeah, we
Carter.
really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember, so on my TikTok, one of the early videos that popped off for me was I put a Family Guy clip like next to like my Tetris. I did it as a joke and it went off.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
You've had a lot of success on social media, on like TikTok and stuff.
Specifically a TikTok, but it's very inconsistent with me. Just some videos do really well.
But you post a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Baldur's Gate stuff consistently does pretty well. Tetris is very hit or miss.
Nice. We'll link it. We'll link it down below.
Oh yeah.
You can get hella lime heads dude commenting, yo, we love Baldur's
love-
Gate. Yeah.
We fucking hate Baldur's Gate. We love Tetris.
Yeah, more
Hell
Tetris.
Yeah, well, I feel like. Yeah, TikTok's a crazy one because like you'll have a video even for we've only had like 3 TikToks.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it'll range from like, dude, this one got 100 likes to being like, it has 5 views and no likes, and I'm like, did we just get blocked or something? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you got to check your analytics to see like where most of your viewers come from, and then it'll show you like, oh, your viewers in like West Coast US
Yeah.
are more active on this time, so that's why I like schedule my posts.
Oh.
I've been wondering about scheduling TikTok posts, but I never knew if like, because for like YouTube, bigger YouTubers schedule. Like we schedule before, but like that's usually more just for the subscribers. And they're like, oh, the algorithm finds it no matter what.
Yeah.
But that's very good advice. Actually, I will look at that.
It won't be like a sure thing. But generally, because like most of my like general like people that find me are like active around like 11 a.m.
Oh,
so
damn.
like I just post something if I have something at like around that time.
That's smart.
Nice.
Fucking someone's dad at work in their suit. I'm gonna check out Reid.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The one Oppenheimer TikTok, the one that reached the like 1 million club.
Dude,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Dude, if you get a million views on a TikTok, you should be able to retire.
You should be able to. Yeah, we've tried with the schedule stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like you kind of gotta have like a dedicated following on YouTube for that to work more often. I feel like.
I heard YouTube Shorts is a really way to grow though. I've heard like a lot of good things from people.
Yeah, we've had a couple YouTube Shorts that have done well.
Yeah, we gotta do more YouTube Short stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many markets, man. So many things now, you know?
There's just
back in the day it was one.
It's YouTube.
No. Before that.
Vimeo.
Before that.
Daily Motion.
It was called The Site.
What the
Anything you wanted on the site.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that's all it was.
Is it real? No way.
You're talking about the hub.
Okay, no, everyone calls it The Site. We call it The Hub.
We're talking about cable.
Yeah, I lied. It was DirecTV.
Yeah.
Dude, no, before the internet. You just
Xfinity.
and it came with like a fucking control, and you just
you just click. They call them channels.
That big ass DirecTV remote.
Oh yeah, dude. Did you have the light gray one, like the white light gray?
There's the white on top and
black
then,
in the back.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, that was a good one.
You
Though.
could probably like kill someone with that, like bludgeon them.
That's the people don't. Okay, designers listening to this, if you're making a controller, a phone, they're like, oh, it's so thin. But what if I get jumped?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? What if someone breaks into my house? I want to beat someone with my controller. Get out of here.
That's why I have a big heavy case on my phone, because I've thought about this. Like I would throw my phone like sort of like almost like a shuriken, like just hit him right in the temple, knock him out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. I am prepared for this moment.
Yeah.
There's a series on YouTube I watched called When Phones Were Fun that you should like really try. It's so cool, like how like all these different phone designs that they used to have, and just like and all these weird functions they used to have. It was crazy.
I feel like that's kind of a trend that you can see in a lot of technology, is that like I think especially like before there was so much more diversity and variety and stuff in designs, because people were just trying different stuff, whereas now it's kind of it's been streamlined so much to the point that it's all the different designs of the same thing, and they're all very similar. There's really only like one style of phone, right? There's one, like, you know,
there's a flip now, the
yeah
Galaxy Flip.
They're experimenting with that, but I mean, really, is that much different than a regular phone? The screen still opens up and it's still touch screen, and it's still mostly the same, just bigger.
The 2000s were really like just a really experimental time.
A lot of cool colors and stuff being used.
That goes beyond just technology, but it's just like with all their like movies, the music, TV shows.
Come on now.
It is there's a lot more innovation in the 2000s than you see like nowadays.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it feels more I think there's like I think maybe it's just me hoping. This is like the human element of me being like, it's been like this for so long, it has to change, but technically it doesn't. But I feel like we've been this consistent like cycle since 2010-ish era kind of thing since then, where in forms of like technology, it's less innovative and interesting, even in just design, within film and video games and sometimes music kind of thing. Maybe not as much for music because it's so different for how you're developing that, but you see a lot of like all these animated films started to look just like 3D and not experimenting because this is a way to do it. And all these video games are trying to go hyper realistic and have crazy budgets, but we're not going to experiment with it just being pulled back and more, or like artistically designed, or like more uniquely designed, I'd say. And it just seems like a weird like halt we're in as a society of, or even you look at houses or like businesses, so many things. I think we're getting a little bit more, maybe because people are complaining about it, but that modernistic, gray, white, dark brown, that's it. It's just like,
it's actually probably at its worst in construction, because you see like apartment buildings.
Yeah,
a lot
dude.
of it part of it with technology though is just diminishing returns. Like it's just like as things get more perfected, it's just not going to be as different.
Yeah.
But a lot of that too is just like corporations. They only care about their bottom line, so they're gonna go with what works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I think it is, like the plateau that's being reached. You see that a lot in like just how powerful things are. But also, yeah, I think to some degree, I think like, yeah, that early 2010s or 2000s time, it was such a developing time for the internet, especially where like it was kind of like the incline of the internet was so steep to where it was just kind of blossoming, and it reached kind of a point. I don't know at what point. It reached a point where sort of like the corporate and capitalistic side of it took over. Of like, we kind of almost just talked about it, where we were like, oh, this is the time to post this, out in the day. Which would someone have ever said that 10 years ago or 15 years ago? And I think like you can see that of like same thing with design and stuff, where like this looks like this, or these movies are animated this way because this works and this always makes the money, and this is the cheapest way, so this is how we're gonna do it. So I think that kind of it limits. I think the worst kind of like aspect of that is that it limits art for sure. I think you see the most creativity when you don't have those type of limits on you.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that capitalism does harm art. And I kind of had this awakening when I went to Barnes and Nobles, and like just so many book covers and like the new releases look the same. And a lot of it's mostly prominent in like the stuff that appeals to like book talk, because those are the ones that go viral. But like it's really just like that, where it's like a lot of the covers look exactly the same, a lot of the books read exactly the same, and so it's just I have this idea like capitalism does in fact harm art, because they're going to do what appeals to the masses rather than kind of pushing something. And not to fall back on Megalopolis again, because we talked about it a lot, but I think part of the reason why that was so interesting and stands out is because Coppola is at the point now where he doesn't care about the bottom line. And obviously no studio to tell them no and care about their bottom line, so it's like that's why it was so different, because there's not that monetary incentive.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it being self-funded and just being this kind of what I would hope is just a one-for-one projection of what he wanted to do on an artistic level. I think that's kind of that adds to. We talked about it with not to bring it up, but Terrifier. We talked about it how there's a level of respect there with that the creators were able to do so much with the small budget. It's kind of the other side of that, of where Coppola he's so free from that, of being attached to a studio and stuff and needing money to make this and having to meet deadlines and what producers say, that he was able to create what he wants, just because he's rich as hell. Like he was able to just fund it himself. So
yeah, I think a big swing is better than just kind of muddling around and something kind of safe. And there's things I like that are safe. It's not being like I never, oh, this phone does look kind of cool. This movie is all right. But as a whole, it's like, yeah, when everything is just safe, it's forgettable. It doesn't affect you. So even if it's a big swing and you feel like that didn't hit what I was hoping it would be, it's still like, at least in my mind, oh, at least they tried something new. At least this isn't something I've seen entirely before. But yeah, it just seems. I keep saying it seems. It seems like
you're pondering.
It seems, and I think, and I wonder,
and I inquire.
I inquire about.
Let me pontificate.
Yeah.
That thing about watering down, I think the scary part of that is thank you. That you gotta start seeing that simplification and dumbing down beyond like products and art and stuff, and you start seeing it upon people and groups and masses. Especially, we talked about this with social media, where it's one way or the other, and it's so black and white, and it's so this or that. And to relate that to like what we were talking about of that simplifying and dumbing down, is that it's so much easier now than it was before, I feel like, to kind of paint something as objectively this, and then have a lot of people think the same way easily. Just like how having a lot of people buy the same type of phone is easy. The same goes with like the way people think and the way people are wired and the way you're able to manipulate that.
Yeah. So, this film overall it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But in 20 years, anyone going to be like, that was pretty good, and be like, fuck, I don't think about that.
No.
I hate to like sound like an elitist, but I really do feel like there's this growing sentiment amongst like I guess just general audiences that they don't want to engage with an art. almost like the whole like it insists upon itself meme, because you see that a lot, and like if you ever see a Megalopolis TikTok, all the comments are like, oh yeah, Megalopolis insists upon itself.
Yeah.
And that's almost like this kind of like this anti-intellectualism like catch-all, to where like people don't want to necessarily think deeper about art and themes. And part of that too is that like because you're required to pay to experience a form of art, people want to make like the people that put the stuff out, they want to make sure that people enjoy it, because it'll get them coming back to pay and pay more. So that's why you see a lot of this very functional storytelling in mass, because it's easy to grasp, easy to understand, and it kind of like checks the technical boxes of like what works as a story, which doesn't necessarily make it good, but in the sense like that's kind of what I mean by capitalism harms art. Because it wants to make sure that you come back for more.
Yeah, and I think like even historically, it seems like audiences always want something safe, like as a general sense. I know like it's the kind of thing like we've all fallen into it in some extent. Like I've always thought like if you give audiences that chance, they eventually will, kind of thing. Like you look back in the day, there's movies that are acclaimed now. Like I heard recently, The Thing wasn't liked at the time. It bombed. People were like, "What the fuck is with all the violence? That creature is gross." And it's like that movie's incredible, right? So it's that thing of even if the moment the audience doesn't know what they want, it's not saying Megalopolis is necessarily like that's what they want, but it's like that thing of they don't know until you try. If you're never given them that chance to find something, they don't know they want better. But we're seeing as of right now with like there was a slump for a bit that we're still going through, like superhero films, where it's kind of pointing towards like general audiences do get burned out and they do want something new, and not every time it's going to hit, or maybe sometimes people might think this is a weird film, it's too different, whatever. But I think as a whole, you're more likely to get people to kind of like Oppenheimer, Barbie was a big thing. Yeah, I see people talking about The Substance a lot, and it's a great movie. And it's just this thing of like, yeah, you could go for a bigger swing, and yeah, you might get criticized a bit more for some of them, but I don't know. I feel like as a whole, it's going to age better, and it's going to allow for I don't know, I feel like audiences because audiences are just people, and I think the average person wants to experience art. They want to experience something new. They want to relate to something and get touched by it, you know? And it's like, if what you guys just do side eyes, what was that?
What are you talking about?
And if you don't feel that, you just get bored. You're not going to go to the theater anymore. You're not going to think of it like that. So I think it's a natural hopeful of like, because art is so human, humans like have it like anchored to this somewhat quality of like, I can't see it going to this super stupid extent because people will just be so bored out of their mind of it, I think.
Yeah, I think the other complete opposite end of that, where you talked about films being criticized when they're released and eventually there being like a newfound appreciation for them later down the line. We talked about how the 2010s and early 2000s, late 2000s were so influential in like just internet culture especially, and how people view things and how people think. I think we're seeing kind of the ramifications of kind of what were the building blocks of a lot of popular just things people consumed back in the day, because the opposite of that is the thing we see a lot online, where it's contrarianism, where people flip on a movie entirely to have a completely opposite opinion just because that's what I don't know the psychology behind it, but
yeah, dude, I hate that.
You see that a lot.
People
and
just want to be different.
Exactly.
Or seem unique.
Exactly. And I think you can link that back to a lot of the stuff that was popular back in the day, and obviously now I think it's gone out of hand ridiculously. Like you'll see so much content. I know I've mentioned before I'm not really a Star Wars fan, but the couple of times I've peeped through through the peephole to look at that fandom, the things I always see are content creators that are always negative or contrarian, or always going against the media that's being pushed out. And I think that's like a direct fallout of like some of the stuff that was
it happens
popular
both ways
in the
too,
day.
where people suddenly switch up and proclaim like a movie to be like an underrated masterpiece. You see that a lot in like YouTube titles.
Oh yeah.
I called that. Remember we watched Eternals?
And
I tweeted out, I'm like, I just want everyone to know that I liked Eternals before everyone's gonna start pretending like they liked Eternals.
It's happened.
And then it happened.
It did happen.
I think in another market it's kind of similar would be like fast food, maybe, where it's like when it's if quality's gone worse kind of thing, people are eating a bunch of bullshit nowadays. It's like, yeah, but that's more so because of like they've been fed that. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, the regulations above, the people that should be making sure that we have higher quality for certain things, that things should be better, more affordable, whatever it is. They're not doing their jobs, or they haven't been over the years. They've gone paid off, or they've gone undercut, right, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's gone to this point, like within studios, it's like the consistent quality decline with blockbusters isn't random. It's clearly because studios are like, how about we get $1 billion film every year? And it's like, motherfuckers, what? So yeah, I think it won't happen until there's like a crash of some sort of studios being split again or something like that. But it is like, yeah, it does suck to see. There's so many great films out, like the past 2 years especially. So many great films. But also there is some films that you're like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Yeah, rushed, overworked, under, like, any new ideas are pushed away because they're like, no, we'll piss someone off with that. We can't do that.
Oh yeah, you always hear about horrible studio interference. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, cut that out.
But kind of going back to the, we talked a little bit about like general audiences, and I think that's kind of the crux of like what I want to get to. And we talked about this a little bit before we restarted because we took a little break. I think a lot of the way that people interact with art and how it's very focused on functionality over wanting to delve deeper and kind of interact with like the metaphorical and like I guess the metaphorical like aspect of it is due to schools, like a lot of the school curriculum, and all things considered, it wasn't that long ago that we like got out of high school. If we're
25 years ago,
yeah. Time flies.
I'm sure you guys can remember like your English class, especially if you're like either like honors English, AP English kind of thing, is very focused on like functional storytelling.
It is.
And if you ever try and do like a deeper analysis, it's almost like kids check out. Like and there's like the whole meme of like, oh, the English teacher trying to describe the curtains being blue and how that signifies sorrow, and it's like me, the curtains are just blue. And that kind of just shows like this general like sense that like schools just teach you how to functionally understand a story of like, oh, here's what you need to create a story, like plot, falling action, like the technical aspects of what you write. But they don't really want to concern themselves with delving in and interacting with the thematic approaches that a work of art will want to make. And that kind of goes and permeates throughout like audiences. And you see that a lot in YouTube criticism, and I'm sure that you guys will probably be able to talk a little bit more about this because you mentioned it. But like a lot of like YouTuber critiques of movies are gonna be on like, oh, well the pacing was bad, and like you will see like this loophole here. Think like I like was it Cosmonaut Variety Hour, but he does that a lot too, where it's like, oh yeah, the pacing was bad, and like why did this character think that when he didn't know that? I'm like, does it really, like, if you look at like the theme of the movie, does that take away from like the message that the movie's trying to say, and like how much does that affect the presentation of it? And it can't. Sometimes a movie's so technically bad, and like the writing is so technically bad that like it does. Yeah. But sometimes people like are overly focused on that, and so that's why I think like there's this overemphasis on functional storytelling or functional art.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think I mentioned this example before, CinemaSins. They kind of are the pioneers of like the over dissection of something, where that it was obviously done for like a comedic effect to some degree of like, blah blah blah. But I think it did 45 seconds logos. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like it kind of trains the brain to.
Lime does not contain a lap dance.
Roll credits.
Yeah. I used to watch CinemaSins too, like years back.
Me too.
I watched them a good amount, and after a while, I was like, I'm having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
The joke's tired.
A movie that I like. So actually, well,
dude, if it was a movie I liked and then they remove a sin for something, I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, I think that's when I started noticing that too. Was movies I like, and then I'd be like, it was a movie that I'd seen multiple times and understood, and then they'd have like some criticism of it that felt was like half-hearted, just kind of like, not half-hearted, but just I don't know what the phrase
is. Disingenuous.
There we go. Yeah. Where it's just like, oh, why didn't they do this instead of this? And I'm like, well, within the like. I just watched Prometheus for the first time in years, right? Because I'd never seen it. But I remember back in the day, people was pretty divisive, and it was like, why aren't they running to the side of it, right? It's like, I get it being a criticism of like the Prometheus running away from things, but within the film, like they strictly like it's not like they're stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's not a spoiler at all, but like she's running away from it. she moves to the side, the person gets collapsed because they don't do that. So it's like it's clearly intentional that they're doing it, but like that, like this movie sucks ass because of this. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, there's such a hyper fixation on things that, like you said, like Carter said, don't matter, and also there's like a level of what would you call it, like
The whole "if it were me" kind of thing, where people watch a movie and like, well, if it were me, I would have done this.
Yeah. Where and it's also like, so it's such a, I don't want to say surface level, but like kind of you said, it's such a, people have been trained, you know, you mentioned through education and then through, you know, content like that, where it's been trained to kind of absorb something as kind of like the uppermost layer of it, and there's no incentive or like want to dig any deeper than that. And so like I think like, yeah, a lot of people, that's why I think like, look, I mean, I like watching Marvel movies. We mentioned that there's kind of a slump right now, but I think a big part of why people enjoy some of those, and they have, some of them, you know, have interesting themes and whatnot, but a lot of it is because they're able to be understood on that very simple shell level. Yeah. And then if you want to dig deeper, you can. Yeah. There is stuff there, but it very much kind of is like the priority one is that shell layer, and then if you want something below that, you can kind of get that. Yeah. And I think art, maybe that's kind of not how it's supposed to be taken in, really, but because of corporations and capitalism, I feel like it's kind of went that way.
Yeah, it's because, you know, you're paying for it, so it's like people want to enjoy something, so it's almost like corporations are gonna want to do what's safe for them.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you heard of there's this guy James Gunn, small time director.
Yeah, he's pretty humble.
He's making his way across the scene. No, but he talked about before, like, making superhero films as well, that he would meet so many directors and that he knew were talented and they were cool, and they'd be like, yeah, man, like he'd be talking to them and they'd be like, dude, we're gonna do something different, like you and me kind of thing, like, yeah, we're not gonna fall into that same like kind of simple trope, whatever. And then he talked about how he would see them then immediately fall into it because they just get these like directors that get beaten down by the studios to not do that, not do that, not do that. And it just makes it less, it's not saying there's not good films too that have come out of getting still beaten down because of, you know, the consistent work of everyone around it besides whoever's limiting it. But yeah, can you imagine if just every film was like, oh, to a certain extent, I know it's money. You have to have people there, but it's just let people swing for the fences. Let them try.
Cook. Let them cook. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine a fucking Captain America film, but it's like The Sopranos. Think of that.
It's a little avant-garde, you know.
Just a hella pop. Imagine Iron Man, but Breaking Bad. Yeah, try stuff. Go out there and try
this
stuff.
Thing, but it's like the thing I like.
No, like for real, it'd be. I think just anyone. Well, I try to do this too. It's like just whatever you're watching, try to watch it with an open mind and it sounds stupid, an open heart kind of thing. Of unless a film has like ill intentions throughout it, try to understand what it's trying to do, what it's trying to say. Any kind of art, music, whatever. It's much more fun, I think, to be trying to find that deeper meaning, that appreciation in things. Oh, that didn't hit for me, but this. Because I don't know, like, oh, this thing fucking, I hate this thing, and I hate this thing. That thing's stupid. That's too much. How long is that? I'm not watching that. What was that? Subtitles? No, I'm not watching that. It's just like you're limiting yourself when if you just opened your mind to all these things, you could be so much. I don't know. So many more stories could be told. You could learn so much about yourself.
Yeah.
And you.
And me.
And you.
And you listening to this right now.
You.
Yeah.
Here, do this. Go back to our videos and watch them with your mind's eye open, and see if maybe it's gonna turn out that we're actually doing, you know, some sort of social commentary when we talk about Bush versus Al Gore.
Some social
do
network.
it 3 times.
Yeah, do it a couple times.
Come back to you're insane. I get it now.
Yeah.
And also too, the reason why I like emphasize that it's on schools, and I should probably clarify that I do part-time work in schools, so I'm not. Even it's not just also the recency of being in like public education, but it's also I work in it part time, so I kind of still see it. It needs to happen in the school curriculum to have this engagement and willingness to talk and deconstruct and criticize art, because now you have the whole sentiment today that I absolutely hate online. It's like, why do you hate fun when anytime you want to criticize? Like, and that to me is just like total cop-out deflection and like an unwillingness to engage in something.
Yeah.
And it's like if you love something, you should be willing to criticize it.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, and also the fun argument is just kind of like a non-argument too, like you said. It's just putting up a wall. You yourself are not engaging in it in a supportive way, even really. So, dude, sorry. Earlier when you were talking about movies being limited by producers and whatnot, and trying to follow the cookie cutter, path. One movie came to mind, and I think it's the most egregious example of this. All right.
What the fuck?
It's a movie that came out this year.
Is it like an Illumination movie?
It's not from Illumination. It is. Okay, drum roll. Should I edit it in?
That, my friend, is a double time swing.
It's Borderlands, dude. Borderlands, dude.
How fucking dare you, dude? Eli Roth has been donating to us ever since we started Lime.
Yeah, he has, and thank you. But Borderlands is honestly, I'm not gonna read my Letterboxd review, but I talk about how it is the most soulless husk of someone trying to imitate the success of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
To try to capture, like, it's as if sort of an alien came and watched Guardians of the Galaxy, or some sort of just AI was programmed to be like, okay, this movie was successful. Why? Oh, because it has a quip here, and oh, it's colorful and the characters are zany
And a bunch of characters.
Yeah, and they're in space and it's crazy.
Wacky.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like if an AI did that and tried to make a Guardians movie with a glossy finish of Borderlands over it, and it is the most soulless husk of a movie I've ever seen. It, like, we're talking about movies not having a deeper level of just substance. That movie is literally
surface.
It is only there's only the surface. If you try to dig deeper, you hit, it's like Minecraft. You hit bedrock, dude. You can't go any deeper. It's insane.
Dude, watching Borderlands will have, it's like, I'm sorry, Marvel, I'm sorry, DC.
Yeah, it made me be like, maybe I was too harsh.
Yeah, some films before I was like, that's kind of uninspired. I watched that film, I'm like, that has heart. Ant-Man Quantumania has fucking heart. How dare you guys? I saw Borderlands.
I need to check like the movie I watched right after Borderlands and just see if I overrated it because it got like the ugly by comparison.
You want me to check?
That's a good,
hold on, let's all check our.
Yeah, let's check.
It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, what did you watch after Borderlands? Did you
5 stars? I love film. I love it so much.
No, never mind. Mine was accurate. It was Coraline. Because Coraline came back into theaters because it got remastered. So I watched Coraline and I was like, yeah, this movie's peak, and because it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Coraline is incredible. I watched it for the first time last year.
After Borderlands, I watched Alien Romulus.
When did you watch Borderlands?
It was in August.
August?
Yeah, August 10th. We watched it. I gave it a 1.5 star.
Did I never rate it?
I don't think you did.
Carter, do you want to see how long my review is?
I rated it. I don't think I logged it.
Okay, dude, I wrote something to that similar length, and I was like, what's the point? And I deleted it all, and that's why my review is just that one quote.
Both of our reviews popped off, I remember, though. I remember.
They did really, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't think I ever logged it.
Wow.
I'm just going to log it now. I watched this months ago. I forgot.
Shows you how forgettable it is.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think I liked movies after that.
I haven't watched a movie since. I haven't been able to.
Yeah, but with animation in particular nowadays, we're in dire straits because I feel like a lot of animation looks exactly the same. And not in the sense that like, oh, like the art. I mean like the way that it's very bright and like. I had to talk to an animator friend about this. Shout out to Danny.
Did you talk to her?
Dude, I was going to say that, and I restrained myself. I restrained myself.
Shout out to Danny Doodles. Really good artist, animator. Follow her on Twitter. But anyways, yeah, I had to talk to her because she's like an animator and like film graduate and stuff. It's about how the way that the film is like lit. And like it's almost like, because with like the cinematography, quote unquote, of like an animated movie, you can build the scene from ground up. And so she was saying like, oh, with like, you're talking about how like they frame a shot and how they light a shot, because and the reason why I contrast like The Wild Robot with a lot of other contemporary like animated films is that they're very bright and they just want to focus like the characters to sell toys. Like look at like Boss Baby from DreamWorks, right? There's not a single shadow in Boss Baby. It's a very like. Can you distinguish Boss Baby, like Secret Life of Pets, in like an Illumination film, when it comes to just like outside of the characters? But if you were to like look at the backdrop,
yeah. No, yeah,
like yeah. So just something I wanted to point out.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I think maybe we're on the. I think hopefully we're on the cusp because of Spider-Verse. I think kind of maybe awoken it, of like designing 3D animation like 2D, like allowing imperfections, allowing it to be insane design. Because since then, it's like with Puss in Boots and then Transformers right now and Wild Robot, I'm like, okay, we might be Bad Guys too that came out. It's a lot of like where it's like those ones that did really well, and I'm like, yes, please, no more simple old like DreamWorks animation or like even Pixar kind of sometimes would be like,
oh yeah,
okay, yeah, this looks nice, but it's very Pixar.
Yeah,
so
Pixar's
cool.
kind of in that right now.
Yeah,
They're slumping.
My fear with the Spider-Verse thing is that it was, very unique, and I think the fear of that is that studios are kind of seeing that trend of like that popped off
Multiverse.
and now we're getting films that are derivative of that art style where it's like, no, see, that was cool because they did their own thing. Yeah, I mean it still is very interesting art style, but I hope it doesn't reach the point where it's like, I'm sick of saying this,
yeah, that would suck. Watching the Spider-Verse films back, what is this?
Why can't we get more stop motion, dude? When Coraline came out, like I would at least liked 5 years of stop motion being awesome.
Dude, I love stop motion. It's just no one sees it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a lot of work.
There's a new Leica film coming out.
Oh, really?
Next year. Nice. And then there's a new
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, what's the company? Aardman, right?
Yeah,
aren't they running out of the clay that they use?
They got a new manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Let's go.
But there's a new Wallace and Gromit one out next year as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's no claymation. You better go support them, man.
Hey, shout out to manufacturing, dude.
Yeah. Actually, capitalism is so sick.
Awesome. There was a demand, and now they came in and
supplied it. Yeah.
Capitalism won any other topic. Capitalism won claymation. Actually, dude, the Leica, the CEO of Leica, or whoever made Leica, he's the son of the CEO of Nike.
Oh.
Yeah, like the guy that made Nike, it's his son. So Leica consistently had, like, maybe now they've made money somewhat through because Coraline got so big and stuff. But for a while, Leica wasn't making money off their movies, and it was only kept going because the Nike CEO was like, "There you go,
there you go, son."
Hey, shout out to Nepo babies.
Yeah. It's one of the few ones of like, oh yeah, someone who, like, yeah, a Nepo baby with a rich dad is making something that's actually beneficial. Like, this is sick. I love this.
Shout out to Jack Quaid, Maya Hawke.
Fuck.
Are those the only good Nepo babies?
Jack Nicholson's son is in Smile too. He's really good. I think Nepo babies, in my mind, if they're good, I don't care. If they're good, I don't care. If they're taking it down, if they're like okay or bad, I'm pissed. Or they're a bad person. But if they're just like, hey man, and they're good, I'm like, all right, you get in there.
I like the Nepo babies that are very cognizant and aware and even bring up that, yeah, look, I know I'm a Nepo baby. And they're also really good at what they do. And I'm like,
you saying Jack Quaid?
Yeah, Jack Quaid.
We're back. Hey, Jack Quaid, come on our podcast, man. We love you.
Shout out to Jack Quaid. Come on.
We love you.
Please, Jack Quaid. If you're listening to this right now.
He's not coming on. What the fuck?
Yeah. Look, all that shit we said about having Zachary Levi, we'll cancel those.
Wait, Keanu Reeves. Nepo baby.
Let's get him on.
He's a Coppola.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're back. Oh, Megalopolis.
Yeah, the Megalopolis podcast.
Yeah.
Miyazaki's son, I feel like we need to wait a little bit more on that.
We need to wait.
Because his movie, the recent...
Earwig and the Witch?
The 3D Ghibli movie?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't good, but I'm glad they, like, tried 3D.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, Ghibli would have had to do, like, a 3D movie. Like,
the 3D's not the worst part of that film. It's just, the film ends. It just ends.
So, so him, I'm like, I kind of gave him a pass for because it's, like, hard shoes to fill, and also they tried, 3D, and there's a lot different stuff with that.
He has 2 other films, too.
Oh, really? Never mind. All right. He sucks
Poppy
now.
Hill?
If I haven't heard of him, he sucks.
Wait.
Actually, yeah, you're no
damn.
longer with my
I'm sorry,
heart.
man. I was trying to root for you. Yeah, I think he did from up on Poppy Hill.
Was that good?
Yeah, he did. His first one was apparently good. Am I crazy?
I've not watched it.
No, I'm not gonna look it up.
No. Yeah, you know what? You don't get to be in the pantheon of Maya Hawke and Jack Quaid.
Yeah. What's his name? You say his name.
Goro Miyazaki.
There we go. Goro
Goro Miyazaki.
Come on the cast. Come talk to Carter about 3D animation.
Beats my ass because I.
What the fuck? Flies all the way here.
Yeah.
Hey, great
When you
meeting
said that, I
guys.
imagine him flying like Superman.
He has not cooled down one bit.
He's still pissed, dude.
Yeah. We should get Lime nepotism going. Like, have my little nephew just be the host from now on.
That'd be sick, dude. Lime nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah, our editor. I know they suck ass, but listen,
Yeah.
he's our cousin.
Yeah, we gotta let him.
We got,
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
Ray,
Ray.
our cousin Ray. He's not great all the time.
Yeah.
Shout out to nepotism.
Shout out, hey, we're all brothers here.
Yeah.
We're all triplets.
Yeah.
So, okay, I joked about it before, in case they do watch this, and I said I'm not going to shout them out and call them clout chasers. I felt bad because they're my friends.
They're not watching this part anymore, bro.
They clicked off. But shout outs to my friend Ninja. He, not that one. Ninja of Ninjas in Tetris. Yeah, he does a lot of beginner tournaments, and it's a really cool place to get started. And shout out to Mari. He does the charity tournaments I was in. So raise money for I think the most recent one was the Palestinian Relief Fund. Yeah, shout outs to him.
Oh, nice.
And then now I get to be selfish. Yeah, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter. I think it's like Reid844 or something. I don't know. Just fucking find it.
We'll link it.
And then I sometimes stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/ActuallyReid, and I have like a personal YouTube channel, just Reid Tetris. You'll find it. Uploads are very sporadic on that. And then on TikTok, ActuallyReid, and then I help manage a kind of like community channel, Jalen's best friend. I'm not the sole person behind that, but kind of taking up the reins. Don't ask about the next video. But yeah,
what's the
Jalen's
next
best
video?
friend. Coming soon, actually. I actually got a lot of editing progress.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
go.
on that one. I know. I should not promise a deadline next time.
Don't worry. Hey, no deadline promise.
Yeah, but yeah. So those are the ways you can find me. And then thanks to you guys for having me on, and also C2WC for kind of giving me my back end gig now, so where I can be part of Tetris and not have to play it.
But yeah, I mean, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a blast. It's always good having you around. Now,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you back now that you're a certified friend of Lime.
Yeah. We'd love it.
We'll have you on Jalen's Best podcast.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
that's a great.
That's the tease?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, fuck. Oh.
it's not happening.
But yeah, I mean, thank you guys for listening to this one.
Yeah, we also just wanted to mention we have a thread on our Twitter that's in support of Palestine. It's got a bunch of links that you could check out. There's links that you could contact local representatives, donate, general information. So we'll link that down in the description below. Go ahead and check that out.
Please go check that out.
We'll also have all of Carter's links down there, so definitely go click those.
And yeah, I mean, give us a rate, give us a like, give us a subscribe.
Yeah.
Wherever you guys are listening to on any podcast platform, give us 5 stars and leave a review, and we will read it off, as long as it's not obscene or rude.
Yeah.
So as we got right here,
We got a review.
we got a review from Thomas.
Ooh. And this was on episode.
Episode 13, The Ghost of
Ooh.
Dr. Seuss, a classic.
Nice, yeah.
Do you want to read this one out, Carter?
Yeah.
Okay. Only real ones heard the scary 40-minute edition. Lime. Wow. Just wow. Where do I begin? I'm so happy to see the rate at which these are posted. I hope it never ends. February 14th, Lime will rise again.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Because we represent love.
The month of love.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank
we
you,
really
Thomas.
appreciate it.
That, man.
Keep them coming. And everyone else, feel free to leave a review as well on the Spotify or wherever. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And have a damn good one.
Peace.
Stay sexy.